Hi there, Internet. Drunken Stepdad here,
Murdock.
and so this was supposed to be our third video in this little series, but having a little difficulty getting the video off of the other camera currently. It's nothing, not like it's a big problem or anything, it's just
He doesn't have the card readers he needs for...
I don't have either.
Oopsies.
So tomorrow I need to, once I get paid, I'll either buy a card reader so we can do them. It's a Sony camera, so it's a Memory Pro Duo, whatever the fuck it was. It's the same thing you stick in your PSP, although I don't have one anymore.
Just gotta stick it in, man.
I kind of wish I did actually now, because that would be a way to transfer it. Oh well. So that's the deal. So this movie, or this video is coming first. This is going to be our review of
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2014 version.
Yes. Yeah, we went and caught a showing of that yesterday, along with Sin City: A Dame to Kill For in 3D, and yeah, and that's going to be a little bit longer, I'm suspecting, because that got a little out of hand after a while.
Oh man, we got on some tangents.
But anyway, so this is supposed to be the third video. You'll notice it's labeled Part 3. But, yeah, you'll, let's see. I don't know, yeah, we'll figure that out throughout the week here. More than likely, I'll put this video up first, though. But I'll just label it Part 3. Anyway, so, this is, all about our thoughts, feelings, what we, how we liked, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the new,
Michael Bay
production. Just so everybody knows, because I was under the impression that he was the director until I looked this up later. But he's not the director. It's only he's producing, and it's just through his Platinum Dune studio.
Yep.
But the thing is, the director himself has been a little bit iffy on movies before. So he's just to name off some of the big ones that I can recall. There was Battle for LA.
Who's the actual director of this one?
Let's see. Let's see here. It is Jonathan Liebsman. Yes. And let me just take a look here, because I can give you find out a little bit more real quick. But yeah, he did Battle for LA. His filmography is not the greatest. Yeah, Darkness Falls in 2003. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginnings, and Battle for Los Angeles in 2011.
And it wasn't even a frickin' Snake Plissken movie. The fuck?
And then also Wrath of the Titans in 2012, which, oh my god, that was really bad. I was I liked Clash of the Titans quite a bit. I thought it was a really fun movie. I mean, it's not like it was a movie to take serious or anything, but I liked the movie. I have it in 3D. It's still really fun to watch, and I thought the 3D version was pretty fun. But yeah, Wrath of the Titans was just incredibly big letdown, to say the least.
That said, for the direction and the production being who and what they are, this movie, in my opinion, was absolutely fucking awesome! It was amazing! It was great!
As you notice, I'm not quite as enthusiastic about it. No, just so we're clear about this, I didn't hate the movie. I'm just not as enthusiastic as he is. There was things I liked about the movie. There's things I don't like about the movie. Overall, it's really just an okay movie. Like, before I even saw the movie, I didn't look at any trailers. I had seen a couple other people on the internet talking about it, and basically what they were saying is that it's just okay.
It was fucking amazing.
I mean, for him, it was fucking amazing. For me, it was just okay. I mean, it's not like I was let down in any way, though.
How much can you really expect out of something named Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, even in the original cartoon, the very first episode mocked the entire name of it pretty consistently.
I think
it's a self-parody. The whole thing is literally a self-parody.
Oh yeah.
And you can't expect anything super. You can't expect anything super serial out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I wouldn't say it's a self-parody so much, just that it's like it doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's the charm of it. You know,
and I don't know.
I like Turtles. You know.
I thought this was going to be. I don't know. Well, for one, I thought it was gonna be longer. It's only like an hour and 40, and then the credits run probably like 10 minutes of it, so it's only really an hour and 30 at that point.
That's great.
I mean, myself, I'd say it's not a bad movie. It's not. My word, if you have my taste in movies, it's gonna be okay.
There were some alterations from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get into that here. Let's start out. Okay, so let me get down here. Okay, so the movie starts out with like kind of cartoon or comic book panels. Looks like the art style was inspired by the original comic books as well.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know, somewhat gritty appearance for the Turtles.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that grittiness in that was, I could definitely tell it was, like, the artists that were drawing that were definitely fans of the original art style as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, that shit started up and I thought we were in Sin City again.
Right, dude?
We had just gotten out of Sin City within 20 minutes
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sin City?
The movie starts up and it's all cartoony. I'm like, whoa, this is black and white with a little bit of color splashes around there. Are we in the right theater? Anyway, so yeah, they give like their, they don't even give the backstory right there either.
No.
They're just like, there's Ninja Turtles, there's a Foot Clan, there's Shredder.
Shit's gonna happen.
Like,
shit's gonna happen.
Like, here's Turtles, here's Foot Clan, here's Shredder. Title card. Okay, what did you set up there? Well, it looked nice. Whatever, fuck it.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what's coming. You know what's gonna come on.
Oh, I actually didn't. 'Cause the next thing that came on was super slow-mo camera action of the Turtles' weapons, only the weapons, going through objects.
Oh yeah.
And then, like...
It was a several-minute teaser.
Well, like...
It really was.
I don't know, it was just... Oh, man.
The movie trailer itself.
That little bit in the movie almost annoyed me a little bit, because it's like... Fucking A, man, I've watched this on Conan now, and it's funny. Here, it's just like, oh, looks like someone owns a super slow-mo camera and really wanted to use it.
Hey, what can you say? Michael Bay.
But, I mean, but that's just it, is like the production value on that super slow-mo looked exactly the same as the same slow-mo cams that Conan does on his show. Which, by the way, are hilarious. Look them up if you have not seen them. Some of them are so great. Like, I love the one of Spider-Man barfing. That's just hilarious. But anyway, so, getting a little bit farther into this, let's see. So, they show all their weapons going in slow-mo. And then, it cuts to April interviewing, what was it, it's almost like the fucking opening to the second movie. Where she's
April
like
O'Neil's,
talking to the one guy, the TSRI
the dock worker.
Yeah, but this one, is actually at a dock, but it just has that weird, that very specific feel of the second movie where when the movie had like started, she's sitting there interviewing that scientist guy, and I don't know, this seemed like it was trying to pay homage to that a little bit or something, maybe? I don't know.
There's a lot of moments in the movie that were throwbacky. Real throwbacky.
And I would say some
we'll get into the throwback and homage things, and I like omelets, man. I mean homage.
I like
get back into the homage.
The Amish
thing.
are very nice.
Yes, they're very respectable people.
Yeah,
very hardworking. Very hardworking.
Oh yeah. So yeah, she's talking to this dock worker about what was it? These chemicals that are being stolen, and the Foot Clan.
I'm Mennonites.
And so the Foot Clan's been stealing chemicals. Now, this is another thing, is
they're not really the Foot Clan. It's more like...
It's like a PMC military group.
It's like
military for hire.
Yeah, it's like the Foot Army.
Yeah, they're not a ninjutsu clan in the least. Don't expect this movie to have like those similarities. It's going to change things.
It's like the scenes with the Foot Army are like a Call of Duty commercial.
Yeah,
guys running around with guns and shooting shit.
The guys look like they came straight out of the frickin' live-action Call of Duty commercials. Like,
Ghost.
They literally were just walking off the set, and they pulled them onto the TMNT set, and we're like, "Hey, we need you to run across the set here.
We're gonna dump you. We're gonna dump you in black and purple paint, and you're gonna do this."
They didn't even need to, because he just came off the set of the Call of Duty commercial. He was already looking like that. Like, it's funny because they literally look like the Call of Duty commercial. The people like that do with the black paint and the what was the one? I think the Ghosts.
A scene like
the
right
Ghosts
out of
live
Ghost.
action. Well, the Ghosts live action trailers and stuff like that. So yeah, she's interviewing the dock worker and he won't tell her shit, and so she ends up leaving, meeting up with Vernon, played by Will Arnett. Oh yeah.
Hey Vern, unassuming normal guy. Now this guy, he is great throughout the whole thing. He's just like, okay, I'll roll with it.
One thing I found funny though is that they never. I don't remember them ever really calling him Vernon.
Hey Vern.
Yeah,
Vern.
Yeah, you get more of that Ernest style. Hey Vern.
Hey Vern.
Vern.
Hey Vern. I need a ride.
Yeah.
April's totally like, he thinks he's getting played and shit like that, but no, April's just all about her work and shit, and this guy thinking he gonna score or something. Like, nah, man, you Vern.
Oh yeah, and April, played by Megan Fox. I thought she actually did okay.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. It was a pretty good casting right there.
It's not like she did there wasn't. That's the thing, is there wasn't really time for her to be April O'Neil so much. Like, they fit it in there, and she did a good job, especially looking the part.
Yes, and in many places they intertwined April into the story. Like I had mentioned, there are some changes to the original story, which might offend some hardcore old schoolers, but I thought it was done really well. There's a nice new interpretation.
I wouldn't even really consider this the same story at a certain point. It just kind of jumps off completely with its own ideas. It's like what I was thinking of as it's kind of like someone was given the ability to do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and so they took every idea they've ever had since they knew Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just threw it into this movie.
Oh, it's jam-packed. It never stops moving. Yeah, you don't get time to get bored with a movie. It does a very good job of keeping it moving and keeping you into it.
Yeah, that is very much true. I don't think I ever really got bored with the movie.
I didn't realize it'd been an hour and a half by the time it was finished. It was great.
The only time I checked my watch was to see how much longer the movie had in case it was going to be like longer than half an hour. I was going to run to take a pee, but that was it.
Sometimes you just got to go, man.
But the other thing with that though is like I didn't like it never stops. It's always progressing story. There's never a time where April and the Turtles really get to be the Turtles. There's a couple moments, but it's really like we need to hit these specific marks by this quickly. I mean,
it does it. It does it.
It really could have been like an extra half an hour longer, and I think I would have appreciated that.
I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded it at all.
Especially with Shredder, for one. He was not very well developed to me. Like, he's
not very well developed. His story is sort of glossed over and genericized, I guess.
Well, yeah, and for one, you never really see his face.
No.
It's always covered either in a heavy shadow or by his fucking face mask. Like, and that mask, you can't even see anything past that.
Yep, there's no flesh Shredder.
Like, okay, so when it is that really dark view on his face when he's not in the suit, you can tell he's kind of veiny. Like, he's got these weird vein things going on.
Either veiny or it's like weird burn marks or I don't know. I
was wondering, like, what the hell is this all about? Like, okay, so what's the explanation? Why is Shredder looking all fucked up, and why won't they show us what he looks like?
They don't explain it.
They never show him either. That's one thing, is they never show it, and then Yeah, that never is it's never explained, but my suspicion is
this was a setup for a sequel.
Well, yeah, that's definitely for sure. That this is like, we need to get all this shit out of the way, and the next movie will be more just straight to the point to the story instead of having to hit all these certain marks. We can space it out a little more.
They did a really nice job blending in all the main points, all the characterizations of the turtles, the big time character trademarks. Cowabunga and
we'll get to that. Oh, that Cowabunga line was really good. I thought
it was great.
I really appreciated that line.
And
that
for those of you who've
really
seen the elevator scene trailer, when they're sitting in there doing that rap song and it's binging up the floors,
they're sitting there beatboxing in the elevator with their weapons and everything.
Yeah, it was great.
Really good.
It was great. It fit.
Oh,
it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's kind of like it was a really good way to bring them into the modern world a little bit more, because beatboxing now is becoming more of a predominant thing too.
It's a musical art. It's a musical art. It just don't have no instruments, like singing, except you're using your voice as an instrument. Like when I do.
Anyway, let me take a look here. Okay, so yeah, she's questioning the cargo, Foot Clan's unloading it, blah, blah, blah. Let's see.
The chemicals. They're after these chemicals.
Well, hang on, let's get a little bit, let's slow.
I already said chemicals.
Yeah, well, they know the Foot Clan's stealing chemicals from the fucking, the dock there, and so, it's that night, and, yeah, April's there spying on them. But yeah, the turtle.
Oh, she rides her bicycle across town. My god, that bicycle!
She was definitely an extra in Premium Rush when they filmed that in New York City because of how much she bikes.
Oh yeah.
It almost annoys me to a certain point because I'm like, you're a reporter. Wouldn't you want to rely on a bit faster mode of transportation?
Yeah, but.
And there's a couple other gripes I have with her.
I like to ride my bicycle.
Yeah, so the Foot Clan's there stealing the chemicals at night, and April's there to spy on them and take some pictures, although she never takes a fucking picture of them doing anything.
Yeah.
She waits until the action is over. I don't get her. There's some things in this movie that you're just like, if I tried to think logically about this would just break apart.
But you can't think you just can't bring logic into it because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But that's the thing is, I thought this movie was trying to be a little bit more on the realism factor. But the other thing is, like, the turtles don't look... Like, the CGI on the turtles isn't, I don't know, it's barely a step above the stuff on the TV show now. Like, the 3D TV show, have you seen that? Like, it's, you look at the turtles and it's not like you're like, oh my god, the turtles are right there. But at the same time, people can die.
3D.
People can die, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Michael Bay grade scenes where shit was falling down and the people are just getting slaughtered in the streets, like... innocuously, like all of a sudden, all this rubble fell down, and people went flying everywhere. What?
More like people gathered around to watch the rubble fall down too. Seemed like that a bit.
It's one of them things. It's like watching a freaking train crash.
That guy over there just got crushed. Let's stand here and look at the rest of it fall on people.
Yeah, I mean it's like a train wreck, man. You feel bad, but you just can't look away.
I don't know. I think I would run my ass away from the debris area.
It's like a cow. It's like that look that's on a deer's face. When the headlights are coming right for it.
I guess.
Or when a cow's looking at an oncoming train. You know, that stunned heifer look.
Yeah. But, I mean, still, whatever.
It must feed the action. Yeah. It must feed the action.
That is a better way to look at the movie, I suppose, is like, the movie... People can die, there's threats and whatnot, but...
You don't really, on screen, you don't see anyone actually getting violently killed. It's all...
I wouldn't say that. The last shot of Shredder?
That's what I was just getting to. You don't see people getting violently killed.
Okay, yeah.
But there's about halfway through the movie, there's a scene where Shredder and Splinter are fighting...
Oh, yeah, that one too. I was talking more about the ending Oh yeah, Shredder fucking dies.
He falls all the way off this skyscraper and lands with a thud in the street and has like a fucking like a 3-foot deep crater like all the way around him. Just impact.
Because now I'm having more problems with the movie on this. Because the movie hints at him still being alive after that. He falls off of like something, basically.
That armor though, that power armor.
I don't give a shit about the armor. That fall would kill anybody. Like, the armor's not going to help him at that point. It's going to hurt him more.
It must feed the action. Oh, and Shredder's armor, the motherfucking blade claws, dude. That shit was so awesome. He whips out them blade claws. I'm just like, dude, there in the theater, dude.
I liked the claws, but I didn't like the fucking magnetic retract. He can shoot the knives out, and there's like one scene where he's just spinning around, shooting knives all over the place.
Dude, it's so
and then he just does this and pulls the knives right to his hands. Now, in the previous scene, he was spinning 360 degrees around shooting these things, and they just come straight to his hands, like, right there. None of them come flying from behind him. I'm just like, what the hell? Okay, he should have, like, ate a knife in the back for sure there. Whatever.
No, evil technology is super potent.
And, well, yeah, I can tell, because later on in the movie, he fucking pulls two giant-ass blades out of his ass, because I think they were trying to suggest he was hiding them in his sleeves on the arms or some shit, but there's
in his
no
wizard
way.
Sleeves?
He
was hiding them in his wizard sleeves?
Well, he's got those gauntlets on, and I think they're trying to suggest that they're in the gauntlets, but the fucking blades are too big to fit in there. You would notice these things. Like, okay, so he literally pulls these two giant triangle-like blades out.
Oh, yeah, and then starts doing fucking Darth Maul style battling with Splinter.
Goes all Darth Maul.
It was against Splinter, wasn't it?
No, it was against the Turtles. Splinter at that point. This was at the end of the movie. Okay, anyway, we're getting way out of ourselves.
This movie made me feel after the fight with Shredder.
Okay. Hang on, let's get there quick. Okay, so the Foot Clan is stealing chemicals, and the only one turtle shows up, and he like fucking chucks goddamn shipping crates at these fucking guys. I'm just
throws
like,
a whole
what the
fucking
hell?
shipping crate. It fed the action.
Oh yeah, so the turtles are very much more powerful,
super heroic,
and they're bigger.
Oh yeah, in the TV show, they're maybe right about here. In the movie, they're up here.
Yeah, they are.
They're beefcake mode.
Yeah, it's like literally the show size is like at least 1.5 times bigger than what they were on that. But anyway, so yeah, he chucks some shipping crates, and the Foot Clan runs away, and he runs off. April gets a blurry photo of him hopping over the roof, and then also a photo of apparently he had time to spray paint a tag while he was chucking the shipping crates around.
Graffiti, gotta have it.
Oh yeah, and it was very nice looking, clean graffiti too. Like, it looked like that shit was sprayed on with like a machine.
It was pro grade.
Like it. I can't imagine this coming out of a spray paint can, but that would be the only tool I would see them having. Whatever. Anyway, he fucking spray paints the word family on the side of the crate, and I don't know for what reason that would have been. Maybe he wants to have a family in the shipping crate? I don't know.
I'd have a family in the shipping crate.
Okay, it doesn't make any sense to me, because for one, it was like a lone turtle. Well, it was only one of them. It's not like the group was there. So, why wouldn't you put your own specific mark to yourself that you're like, I was here, instead of like just some generic fucking word, and in a different language too. Like, that's another thing. How did they learn that? He learned ninjutsu out of a book and then taught it to the turtles. They never had time to learn another language.
Well, they probably had certain symbols in the book relative to ninjutsu and honor.
Maybe, but the fucking book itself looked like It
looked like a Gideon's Bible.
If you went,
it looked like one of them Gideon's Bibles.
It literally oh fuck it, man. We'll get to that point anyway. Fucking turtle hops off. She takes a picture of the fucking family tag. Finds out it says family.
She does some research and goes to her news office.
The top reporter, right after this scene, runs off to report this to her fucking roommate, who doesn't give a shit.
Her roommate's just all like,
like
tick on her laptop.
She couldn't care less. And
she's just looking at her like...
The top news reporter just happens to go straight home to tell her instead of anybody else she could have told in the news agency. And, like, there's a couple problems there that I've had with that, too. She calls in later on being like, hey, get some cameras down here. And the guy on the other end's like, fuck you, April, you're... no, bet, click.
Call me when you already have something.
Yeah, call me... That's what he says.
That's how you treat your top news reporter.
Well, I don't even know if she's considered top, but
she
she's
really
still a news reporter. A news reporter is telling you, hey, get some cameras down here right now. It's the middle of the fucking night.
You should get some fucking cameras down there.
Be like, maybe we should at least send one camera down there instead of, taking fucking goddamn
They should just give
this.
They should just give this chick a damn one of them strap on your waist camera arms that holds the camera pointed at you.
You can bootleg a movie with your cell phone camera according to that thing before the movie. So
there's some dude in there. There's some dude in there with a cell phone camera.
Oh, that was funny to me. Like, okay, so
I hope that motherfucker has enough memory card data.
Before the movie started, they're like, turn off your cell phones, and then right after that, they flash another card. Bootlegging is wrong, and it's literally a guy holding his iPhone up, capturing the movie like this. Like, I'm just like, what does he want, the fucking 5 minutes of footage that he happens to like out of this movie? Like, how fucking long is that battery life, and, like, you're really gonna watch that shitty camera footage? Like, this is gonna be the worst bootleg I've ever seen.
No, I've seen...
Literally the worst bootleg existed ever.
I watched a Django Unchained bootleg video that was done extremely well, and there was no bullshit. There's no bullshit
I've seen really
background
good
noise
too. Like,
that guy's video is gonna be fucked up from all our bullshitting during the movie too. Man, we were making comments and comments.
Well, you were. I was.
Dude, it was so fucking awesome.
Pay attention to what they're trying to, like, the little bit of story they were giving us, or character development, one or the other. Man, like, the movie's going like this, so you're trying to catch everything it's thrown at you. And
if you're trying to pay too much attention, you're going to miss out because you're going to be too stuck on one thing when it's already 3 things ahead.
And then the other thing is, like, it's only really story we're talking about. There's never really a moment where the movie pauses to give character development.
It somehow managed to wrap in,
there's like
maybe not character development, but character definition.
Well,
in the scenes.
How was it? God, what did I write down here? Okay, yeah, I've noticed at least a couple times in the movie. One that I can recall off the top of my head. There's these times where there's these stupid emotional payoffs. Like, Raph is like, I'm sorry, I pushed you guys so hard and all this.
And they never really showed it in the backstory sequence.
Well, you, like, think back on the movie, like, you can believe the line if you don't think about it. But if you think about it,
you can't think too hard. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You just can't put that much thought into it.
But that's just it. If you think about it, he hasn't been... There's no reason for him to say this. He hasn't pushed the team in any way.
He's just kind of a hard ass.
So than anybody else in the team
just kind of a hard ass. Just kind of a hard ass.
And that's it. He's kind of a hard ass. And that's what they were trying to play at, but that wasn't built in there. Like, he wasn't being a hard ass as much as anybody else in the team was. Yeah. So he's like, I'm sorry, I pushed you guys so hard throughout this. And I'm like thinking, like, what the fuck is he talking about? Oh, that's right. He's supposed to be the bad, tough guy. Fuck, I forgot.
He's a rude dude.
That's right. They didn't include that enough.
I don't care. That movie was fucking awesome. I don't care.
He's cool, but rude. But, I don't know. Like, that. Okay, so the characters they did well. They did Mikey really well.
Oh yeah, the party guy, the party dude. Oh man, he was just straight up. He hit the spot, man.
Like, they nailed Michelangelo for this. Raphael, they don't really give enough to his like character traits in the movie. There's not enough of that. Same with Leonardo. Like, they have their moments. Like, Raph has his moments of being a tough badass. Mm-hmm. Leonardo has a few moments where he acts like a leader. Donatello has a few moments where he uses gadgets, but stupidly.
Oh man, Donatello.
But, like, really, it's just not it's like maybe 2-3 times at most in the movie, and it's like for 2 seconds you'll see these character traits come through.
Yep.
But for the most part,
it's pretty
like,
action focused.
We gotta keep going on the damn story.
Like, and they did it. That's what they did.
They did that, and I mean, they did that well enough to keep you entertained for the hour and a half that the movie is. But
dude,
yeah,
I have some wicked ADHD, and that movie had me hooked.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's just it. It's like, yeah, the movie never pauses really.
Never stops.
There's never a scene in the movie that I can be like, oh, that didn't really need to be there. Well, I mean, there's a few times, but like
more moments in the scene that were like, wait, what?
Like, yeah, there could have been a lot more slowing down, a bit more.
I would not have minded another half an hour.
No, yeah, I think it really could have benefited because it seemed like they were trying to cram so many new ideas into this movie that I don't know why they didn't want to like take a few out just to make the movie a little less congested, full of all these new ideas that we're supposed to take
they had to hit all the main points.
Oh yeah,
in the first movie that you know. You gotta hit the main points and
you gotta do your origin story because fucking I guess we can't make a new we can't make a remake franchise out of something without giving the damn origin story again, even though like
there's a slightly different interpretation iteration of it.
I got a little side tangent. Why the fuck do we have to keep going through goddamn origin movies when everybody knows the fucking origin stories already? Okay? Alright, Superman, the original, that with Christopher Reeve, that did have a setup. But why, then, hang on now, Batman. The fucking Tim Burton Batman movie. There was like the most minimalistic bit in there about his parents being shot, and it was actually tied into the story. There was no real origin story there. Not through any of those movies was there really that much of an origin story even. Like, until you got to Batman Forever, where he's really kind of, he has like this emotional moment where he thinks back to the past. But yeah, there was no origin story, and those movies worked great. So why do we keep having to have these fucking origin stories? Like this one here, they changed so much of it that...
It's a new story.
Yeah, it's that, and with that, they could have literally, like, pulled the teenage... Like, there's a point in the movie that, like, could you imagine if we had done this on rabbits? Or something like that?
Yeah, and really, they could have.
And, like, yeah, I was thinking, like, to myself, like, yeah, why didn't the writers just instead take the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and make the movie that the fans want with them, and then just make this their crazy rabbit
Bunnies, Teenage Mutant Ninja... It just doesn't have the same ring.
Well, yeah, but that's just my point, is, like...
It could have been Teenage Mutant Ninja Bunnies.
There was so much of a difference between this origin story and what we're all used to seeing that you literally could have just renamed them a new...
Adolescent Mutant War Bunnies.
But then, like, my point is, like, if you think about, like, Batman's origin story,
that one's set in concrete. You can't fuck with Batman's origin story.
Like, anybody tells you
it's a serious origin
Batman's origin story, and everybody knows you're already telling the wrong thing. Like,
it's set in stone. It's very serious.
Same with Spider-Man. Like, they all have I don't know. I've never seen one that changes the origin story so much so like this one does.
But there's so much that you can leave open to interpretation in the original.
I don't know.
It's not on the same level of seriousness. Or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. It's not like Batman, the Dark Knight. I fight crime because my parents were shot in an alley by a criminal, and I feel like it's my fault for my parents' deaths because I was the reason they were in that alleyway. That's serious. That's super serial.
Okay, but then on the same contrast, he lives in the same fucking universe as Green Lantern, Flash, Superman.
Dude,
these guys
you can't argue comic logic.
But that's just it. Is like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are pretty much as far out as Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Spider-Man, X-Men. They're all pretty far out their ideas.
And it's another step, though.
And I think you could do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles more... Like, I think the original 1990 or 1989 one was a bit more serious about itself. And, I mean, it did suffer a couple times for that. I will admit, that movie has not aged as gracefully as you'd like it to. It's still a fun movie, though. Definitely go... We'll do a review sometime in the future here on that. Anyway, so we gotta get back into the story real quick. So April gets the picture, tells her roommate. Anyway,
her roommate's like, whatever. She goes into work.
There's this one chick working for the Foot Clan who's like, she's always given camera time, but she's never explained, never introduced. They give her a name?
No, they didn't introduce her. Then probably in the credits she had a name.
Yeah, probably.
But they never introduced her.
But it's not like I could have fucking identified
her. Actually, in the credits, her name was probably black and pink haired Asian lady.
That was literally what I was just gonna say. It's probably that fucking. I was gonna say that fucking pink haired Asian bitch. It's probably her damn name in the title. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah. Okay, if any of you have seen the previous TMNT theatrical movie, literally called TMNT, there's that one female antagonist in the Foot Clan in that movie. I almost feel like this girl in this movie is like their new version of her.
Yeah.
But she was introduced in that movie. She's not really she's not a predominant character.
She's left open. She's left open in this movie, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know her fucking name. I hardly even remember the goddamn main villain's name. Anyway, so like she's talking to Shredder, and Shredder's like, we need to put a grasp on the city and figure out where these vigilantes are. So
we must get to these vigilantes.
What that means is that we're gonna go from stealing chemicals
to fucking shit up. We're gonna start the LA riots.
We're gonna go take a bunch of hostages in the subway until the fucking vigilantes show up.
We ain't fucking around. You know, we ain't fucking around. We want you. We're coming for you. And here's the ultimatum.
We're only supposed to be a highly sophisticated military group, ninja clan, but that's not really in this. But anyway, if you were a fucking ninja clan, the last thing you're gonna do is right in the middle of public take a bunch of hostages and put C4 in the fucking subways.
But that's what they do.
You're gonna use your resources to try to find these things instead of like being so fucking advertising that, hey, if you don't come out, we're gonna fucking blow the city up more. I mean, what if they never showed up? Like they would blow up the subway, and then what? They're gonna blow up another subway because they're douchebags? Like, I don't...
Might as well just fucking blow up the whole damn city.
Like...
Uh-oh. 9/11 alert. 9/11 alert. Blow up New York. Aw, shit. We fucked it up.
It was the Foot PMC. So, yeah, they go to the subway, take a bunch of hostages, and, of course, the TMNT show up and
save the day.
Kick some ass, but at this point, it wasn't really... they didn't... this is still, like, they haven't really revealed them too much to us yet. So it's very quick fight.
April catches a lot of the action on her phone. She actually catches some of the action on her phone this time.
Although that gets erased in like the next scene by Donatello. Yep. So yeah, she like follows them up as they escape. Everybody saw them go up this fucking this yellow tube in the subway, and so she follows it all the way up to a rooftop, and there they are. There they are, just sitting there talking, because apparently they thought, oh yeah, if we just go up the tube and sit on the roof, no one will ever find us.
It's like they just got done doing some skateboard tricks or something, and climbed up on the roof to smoke a doobie. You know, it's like, I mean, dude, that was so awesome.
It is kind of like they were all having like a after fight smoke break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I can't argue with that.
April faints like in all the fucking origin stories. She wakes up. They give her Raph does his Batman voice, but
yeah, and they actually reference Batman and Superman 2 or 3 times in that movie, pretty well.
Yeah. She gets her phone back, but the picture erased. They run off, and she gets one last blurry ass picture of them.
But it's more detailed than the first one, and actually shows that these are some fucking Ninja Turtles.
It's not a fucking tag that anybody could have thrown up that just says family.
In fact, that tag was probably there.
How does she even know that?
That tag was probably there from China.
How does she... Shit, yeah, dude, that's actually funny. Like some guy in China, or some Asian person back in the country of origin spray painted that shit on there, and she thinks it's, like, relevant to this fucking case. How did she even know to take a picture of that? Because, like... How would she know
there's graffiti all over every shipyard.
Yeah, well, for one, how does she know that that's not just some shipping tag they put on the damn thing?
Fresh paint.
It wasn't even like that. The shit was dried out. It was almost like laminated on the fucking thing. Yeah,
it was gloss, man.
It was like someone came by with a fucking power printer, just fucking straight onto it. In 5 minutes, it was dry. You could put your shit, you'd slap. It looked as dry as the fucking paint on your stop sign down the street. It was like it's this fucking.
It was paint. It's like watching paint dry to the extreme.
It was like watching paint dry It was like someone was like, "Hey, I just painted this. I'm putting the paint away right now," and you go to look at it and it's already dried. Like, you don't even have a chance to see it dry. Anyway, so yeah, she gets that blurry ass picture of the turtles, and what was it again? Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the part where she goes back to her house to look at the old Project Renaissance videos.
Yeah, this is where it really starts the backstory reveal.
One specifically of which is of a turtle who bashes his head against the glass. It's a little tiny pet turtle.
Just a little tiny box
and he hits his head against the glass
and just cracks it. Spider webs it.
Yeah, and then later on, she runs to her boss to show her some of this footage, and the footage.
But before she runs to her boss,
hang on,
her roommate comes back while she's in the middle of digging through all this shit.
Oh yeah,
and she's talking to her mom. She walks past, and April's all blah 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 blah. I knew it. I got it. Her roommate's all like
Ninja Turtles.
Her roommate's on the phone like, I want to come home.
Mom, I want to move home. And I'm just like, fucking I want to move home with you right now because I don't know, April's annoying the crap out of me a little bit right now. It was
so backwards.
So she then brings the videos to her boss, played by Whoopi Goldberg, which is still named Thompson. Only it's Miss or Mrs. Thompson. I don't know. It's Whoopi Goldberg, who's been renamed. She's the female lead of the damn channel there, and for some reason they just decided to name her Thompson, even though the main villain of this could have had some other name than what he had that would have tied him back or tied the name into the original series. Like, the guy could have so easily have been named Baxter Stockman, and it would have tied back into the series, the original series, a lot better that way, and it would have been more, like, I would have remembered that name. But you know what? I don't fucking really remember your goddamn villain's name. And you know what I have to do in order to remember your damn villain's name? I have to remember a fucking genital. So, the villain's name is named Sax, and the only way I can think of his name is thinking of Ball Sacks, because, you know what, that villain was about as relevant as Ball Sacks to this movie. God damn.
Ball Sacks.
Like,
alright.
I don't know, he's the guy with the money. He's
the corporate greed dude. Like, the fucking mandatory corporate greed villain.
He was sent to Japan for some reason and got stuck there, and then Shredder took him under his wing, and now basically he's like he's basically Shredder's wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gives Shredder his big ass mech suit thing. He's the one
that suit was so badass.
Was the one funding Project Renaissance. He's the one that fucking made the goddamn hypodermic needle on top of the goddamn tower, which we'll get into later. So anyway,
it was so comic book villain.
It was so fucking.
It's just out there. I mean, it's so big.
What do you?
Pizza?
No, I'm good for now. It was like villain plan of the week.
Yeah.
It was like.
Massive super death machine on top of building.
It was like Shredder's plan of the week from the damn cartoons. Which, it wasn't bad, but like I said, this movie is so fucking crammed full of stuff that if they would have taken a little bit out, I would actually have liked the story a bit more.
Or spread it out a little longer.
Well, they could have just taken and saved some of the ideas and added them to the next movie. But, whatever. Alright, so she shows Thompson the fucking videos of the turtle. Like we said, there's when she first looks at him, she sees the one of the turtle smacking his head and breaking the glass. She goes and shows Thompson some video footage of one of them just sitting in a tank. Just sitting there. Doing nothing. And I'm like, okay, you're a fucking reporter. You just watched a goddamn video of one of them breaking glass. Of course this fucking footage is not going to convince her. Show the one of the the actual fucking thing that's happening. This is like you just took some footage of your fucking tank down at the goddamn pet shop and you're like, look, it's real.
Yep.
Like, you're an idiot. Fuck. Anyway, so she doesn't believe her. What a coincidence. Anyway, so April's dumb and doesn't show her the fucking other footage of the turtle breaking the glass. And
something starts happening somewhere in the city, and or I don't. Are we getting to the midpoint here yet?
Oh, this is the part where like basically she's called. The turtles are like, hey, we need to get you back. So they hack into her whatever the fuck and say, hey, meet us at this address. And so she does that, right? Like, she meets back up with them. They bring her back down to the sewers. And, God, now I'm starting to forget what exactly happens in between this and the Shredder fight down there now. I think they just... Oh, they go over the fucking origin story. That's it.
Yep.
That's right. It's just like the first movie where they take her down to the sewers and tell her the origin story. Only this time it's reversed. 'Cause guess what? She was the little kid, and her father was the one that was the one making the mutagen, and Ballsacks is the one funding the goddamn research project, and he was going to use the mutagen and to give it to Shredder for
super soldiers.
Whatever the
rule
fuck
the world.
Really.
We shall rule the world.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because if he was going to use it for super soldiers, then why is he going to give it?
Hide the last bits of it inside Ninja Turtles?
No, like, why... Okay, if he needs the mutagen to make super soldiers, why is he using it then? Why is he extracting it? Well, we'll get into that later. Why does he need the fucking mutagen to give to the city as a cure for the thing he's going to do to it? If he can just make super soldiers with the shit, why doesn't he skip the whole threatening New York bit and just move straight
why
to that?
rule New York and not the whole world?
Well, why not just skip the whole dumb villain of the week plan and actually invest
the villain
in some,
of the week plan is
more
always
villains.
Ridiculously awesome.
Well, yeah, and
well, I mean, Cobra was just a normal car salesman who hated his job so damn much and hated his life so damn much that he figured the only way he could do anything with his life is to be start a terrorist organization, and they had really good branding. Cobra.
Let me see here. Let me
fucking
make sure
brand
I'm not missing
recognition
anything.
right there, man.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh yeah, this would be about the same time frame for the pizza joke. Yep. I did not like this one bit. I felt like this was literally the writers got lazy. The writers got really lazy and just copied a scene out of the first movie. Okay, so the scene is... You'll remember this from the 1990s
exactly.
first one.
Exactly.
It's almost verbatim. It's just there's a couple extra little camera shots in there, but that's about it. Pizza gets thrown in the air. Leonardo's katanas come out. Start slicing it up. Pizza slice lands on plate. Pizza slice lands on plate. Pizza slice lands on Splinter's head. That literally happens in this movie.
Again.
Like, it's the same fucking joke. It's the same fucking scene.
It's not an homage. It's
like, this isn't homage. This is like this goes beyond. This is like blatantly just ripping off a scene.
Yep.
It's like literally if I made a movie and then all of a sudden in the middle of it I just copy that scene for no particular reason. Just add it in there because you know what? Why not?
Why not?
I'm not paying homage to anything. I'm just gonna rip the scene off completely.
Yep.
Whatever. Anyway, so she explains to the Turtles that she was the one that even gave them their names. And
not Splinter this time.
Okay, so there's a little thing I have with that is that
April's gonna name these turtles after Renaissance artists.
April as a young
name called Project Renaissance. So she's gonna name them.
She's a young girl for one.
Like 9 or 10.
I think maybe as late as 12.
No, I think it was 9 or 10.
I think she was more like 9 or 10, but I would go as late as 12-year-old. Anyway, so she's gonna, of course, you name them after Renaissance artists because you know what, that's where the origin story came from, or their origins originally. Anyway, so yeah, she's like, let's see,
gotta go.
So she is like... So yeah, she... God damn. Yeah, fuck it. Cut.